to themselves, to the little group of people who all work in the same office, all get together in the same office and put things together essentially in secret. They hold a lot of that back for that very reason. The creative things like games, books, videos, whatever, they don't work in the same way as utilities. So, and they never will. I can't see any way around that, except from keeping some stuff back.
Having said that, there is a sort of nice balance. I mean, I just covered one today on today's show, and you had the role-playing game that I discussed. There you've got an open source code now, an open source client, and the company was obviously recouping money or making its money from the monthly subscriptions from people playing the game, and that's a happy medium. What I would say in that case, though, is that that particular role-play game isn't bringing in extra costs that we discussed before, but there is a happy medium, and what I don't want to do is cheapen the excellent work of the games that are already out there. And obviously a lot of work goes into those, and they're absolutely fantastic. What I would like my view to be sort of heard as is that I believe there's still a room for proprietary software within the gaming industry. That's not instead of open source software as well. That's as well as. I don't think it needs to be black and white in one or the other. I think there can be room for both, and I think we're seeing that in the market today because all the types.
You could argue it's less harmful as well, because if you're playing a game, it cannot really take control of you, except for addiction, as much as programs can. So one of the arguments of free software is that the developer is going to incorporate features that will take control of the users, or will restrict the users, or basically will give power to the developers or the developers' company over the users. And when you're talking about games, it's kind of fantasy world, and it doesn't have the same, opening of files and manipulation of things. So that's from an ethical point of view. I'm just talking about games cannot be as harmful as the
life goes on.
Like censorship and trying to restrict people's action within the program.
Exactly. If Grand Theft Auto, sorry, go on.
Right, and I was just going to say that the other side to this is the more cinematic that people expect the products to be. If you expect like an hour and a half animated movie, fully animated movie a la Pixar, Wall-E or whatever, which is a brilliant movie, or if they expect the full their gaming experience to be fully cinematic with lots of really high octane cutscenes and all that, that costs an awful lot of money. And the only way that game developers will be able to do that is to get investment. And investors look at that from a purely corporate point of view. We want to make money back on this. We are not doing this because we like the game. We're not doing it because we like you. We're not doing it to try and curry favour with gamers. We want to make a profit on this product. So to do that, they want to own everything. And they want to ensure that they can charge everyone at every opportunity to use every part of it.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. And I think
the marketing part as well. That's one of the reasons people will choose the games.
It sort of brings up the issues, and whilst it isn't such an ethical issue, gaming industry, I think it does bring up issues of franchising, and we've seen many cases of a whole set of games which really have just been cash cows to cash in on a name and haven't really been of good value, if I can use that word.
Games can easily take 3 and 4 years to actually create, especially in the more complex ones. And that's a team of, say, 100 or 150 people involved in it, full time. Not just 9 to 5 full time, but proper, like Foxconn full time, to actually create it. So, and after all that, they want to make damn sure they're going to make their money back.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, end users have a choice. If they don't agree or don't believe in the price, they don't have to buy these titles, and they can vote with their feet. And there's plenty of alternatives, which we're covering all the time, available to people. It's whether people make the conscious decision to move away from proprietary software or not. And I think it's up to people to show that have got experience of free and open source software, to show them the alternatives, regardless of whether it's a game or a utility or whatever it is. That brings me very nicely onto just a couple of points I wanted to make, not so much related with this, but a little bit of criticism that TechBytes has received. And I say the word criticism in inverted commas because no matter what we did on this show, it would have been met by criticism by these people who I shan't name. But I think, or hope, that today's show has highlighted to everybody listening that we're certainly not all in agreement about every topic. We have our own distinct views. I know Gordon's views are very distinct from mine, and my views are very distinct from Roy's. We don't have a single purpose for this show. We come on here, we give our own opinions, and obviously, like today, we have disagreements, but that's fine, because I think it'd be a very frightening show in a very frightening world if everybody agreed with each other. And certainly, speaking for myself here, the only person I agree 100% with is myself, because I find things that I disagree with everybody. So I hope that shows that. And if you do read criticism that there's some ulterior motive or purpose, or we're all part of some unique clique or group that all go off the same hymn sheet, I think you'll find that's completely wrong. So that being said, we have had some very nice feedback. A lot of people have been far too kind, and I've read some tweets and dents about people liking the show, so thank you very much for that, because it does give us the enthusiasm to continue on. And I'd encourage anybody who wants to come on the show, please just drop us a line, or if you've got any suggestions about something that you want to see on the show, or you want something covered, let myself, Gordon, or Roy know via our respective sites. Roy's site is techbytes.org, and Gordon's site is thistleweb.co.uk, and mine is openbytes.tk. So pop into any or all of those and drop us a line and let us know what you think. Roy and Gordon, if you've got nothing else to mention, to cover, we're going to go to the ending track, which was chosen by myself. Are you happy, Roy?
Yeah.
Yep,
I haven't actually heard it yet, but I will be the one editing it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a surprise. Gordon, have you got anything else you would like to add before I close off the show?
No, not at all. Other than when you said things what people want to see us covered, and I'm sitting thinking, since when did we go on a video show? But no, I'm fine. Just go to the end of wrap the show up.
I had a person ask me today about whether we'll ever have video on the show, and obviously in the recorded form, it's not going to make much sense because it's going to be a huge file, and there isn't much going on. I just basically sit here. But for, some people were talking about possibility of delivering the show live somehow. I don't know of any software that can do that, but I suppose we could try at some stage.
Yeah,
well, a lot of the round table shows, like Kernel Panic, was also a good show. They record on TalkShoe, and it gives an MP3 file that someone downloads. But that's audio only. I don't know. We may need to explore that. That would give us an option of doing it live, and streaming it at the same time. But we can look into that, I suppose.
I think what a lot of people don't appreciate is, to all intents and purposes, as far as we're concerned, this show is live. There's no editing, there's no beeping out, there's no cutting and pasting. The only edits that are done is the intro at the beginning is pasted onto our audio file that we've created as you've been listening, and the ending track, which is pasted on at the end. What goes on in the middle is unedited.
Yeah, it's just the idea that obviously the only people that can actually take part in this conversation is the people on the call. Streaming live lets people take part in a channel and actually listen to us as we talk. So they can add things, comments and things. So
the point I was making was more about the mistakes. So any mistakes we might make, like I say, to all intents and purposes, it is live, because we don't go back and edit anything. So, yeah. But yes, we'll certainly look into doing it live. If there's any other suggestions, personally speaking, I wouldn't be particularly happy with doing video as well. I don't see the worth in that myself, and I don't particularly want my likeness put out onto the net. So, but that's my personal choice. But we'll see how it goes. See what's in the future, and I hope.
Have you looked into putting the sound effects? I believe you are experimenting with a bit of software that could add in real time some noises.
Yes. I have been experimenting, and in fact, I'm experimenting at the moment. I've written a very nasty little Python script, which is hopefully going to be recording everything that we've just said, and obviously used as a backup for the show. If that works, then I will be modifying my code to allow me to press a button on my keyboard and play a sound effect at an opportune moment to brighten up the show a little bit and add a bit of extra production value to it. So that's my next phase. And what I will say is, if this has worked and recorded today, I'll be releasing the Python code on my blog for
One
people
of
to have
the
a look at.
one of the issues we have is the way we're trying to interrupt each other. It might sound kind of weird in audio when we publish this, but we have to remember